Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Snowbee, USA. We're manufacturers of great fly fishing gear and outdoor gear. Everything from the diamond rod, the classic rod, the Prestige XS rods, classic reels, prestige reels, and a variety of great fly lines. From the Thistledown, which is a multi-weight line to fit many rods, from a 2-weight all the way up to a 7-weight in different combinations. Delicate distance line for those that love to fish 1-weights. And then back here we have a great rolling gear bag that'll hold your waders, your rods, and everything in it. It's really awesome. Use it in my travels all the time. And today we're going to be tying a couple of soft hackles for you. We're going to do what I call a purple Peril, which is tied with a flash thread that's purple with red specks in it. It's ribbed with silver wire, and it's got a thorax that's peacock herl, and we're using natural partridge on these. And here's a dyed partridge that I did. I used to do a lot of hunting. I got a lot of partridge and pheasants left. And we'll be going on from there. And also Snowbee has a great down jacket, waterproof, probably the best one on the market. And I wear it quite a bit. I don't have it here right now to show you, but it is awesome. I wear it backpacking as well. I do a lot of backpacking. But we'll dive into doing some fly tying here. Stay tuned. Well, let's get started here. As you can see, I've already wrapped the thread on for the first fly here. And I go back to about the point of the hook. I've already tied it off. And first thing I'm going to do is tie in my silver tinsel. And then next we'll tie in the tinsel type thread. I know a lot of guys use this for a lot of midges, but I've really gotten into using them. They make it in all kinds of different colors. You can get it at your local fly shop, just like the whiting hackles. Just stop by your local dealer, and if they don't have what you want, ask for it. Have them ordered it. That's what they're there for. Okay, when I wrap my thread, even if I'm doing like a herl body or whatever, and if it's tinseled or it's got a copper wire on it, I always put a few wraps right behind the wire so that I am starting the wire just in when I'm putting my ribbing on. And soft hackles are a great fly for beginners. It's a good place to start because they are not that difficult. They just take a little finesse. The big thing is just getting your thread down so that you're building a good base to build your fly off of. And I always just throw in 1/2 hitch in between things just to make sure things stay. Alrighty, next I'm going to put in my herl, and I use up 3 strands here. I'll tie that in where it goes first. The thing I like to do is I wet my material down a lot because just lick my fingers and rub it because it really holds it together. It makes it a lot easier to wrap in. And the big thing with herl is I spin it. I'll even use hackle pliers as well to sometimes wrap it on. Leave a space to tie in my partridge. Sticky Fingers. I think that was an album by the Rolling Stones. Alrighty, and when I do most of my ribbing, even when I'm doing a woolly bugger, lots of times I'll put a copper wire in it. I usually always wrap it in reverse because it actually helps hold the fly together, because fish's teeth will cut this stuff up, you know, especially if you're out catching a lot of fish. And I ribbed this one all the way to the front, right through the hurdle. And I even have special scissors for cutting off my wire as well, because that'll dull something pretty darn quickly. Alright, and I've already cleaned the plumage off the bottom of my partridge, just so I could do this. I've had lots of times when I set up to tie, I'll have everything ready to go to tie like a dozen flies. A couple of wraps. Snip off. Go in a half hitch. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm tying today on a size 16 Dai-Riki 320 1 extra long dry fly hook, but you can use whatever you prefer. I've used nymph hooks to tie soft hackles. Depends where I'm at and what I have. Just about make anything work. And I'll even, as we're going along here over the next few weeks, I even tie a stimulator in a soft hackle as well. And trudes and wolves and other things too. Like I said, I dampen my fingers down because it really does keep everything out of the way so you can wrap it. This one I kind of crowded the eye a little bit. I have good wraps with the whip finisher. Bingo. That's the first one. Done that easily and quickly. And I always keep a piece of foam around, I attach them to, and then I come back through with my head cement and do the heads. Okay, we're going to tie the mahogany done now. There you go. For this you're going to use a little fly tying wax. You just rub it on your fingers, rub it together. You always get a little too much, so I just rub it on my pants. I don't know if that's the thing to do or not. And the big thing to remember with dubbing, less is always more. It's one of those things you can just overdub a fly very easily. You just spin it on there. We'll get into dubbing hooks later too. I use those for doing dub steelhead flies and even some of my salmon fly patterns if I do a dubbed body on those as well. I was very fortunate in when I started learning fly tying. Actually, I started in Helena, Montana, and I actually learned from a gentleman by the name of Pat Barnes. And there's even a hole on the Madison River that I've had the privilege to fish with Pat called the Barnes hole. Just wrap that up. I just need a little more here. Pat designed the sofa pillow, which is a salmon fly pattern, and the goofus bug, which eventually developed into the humpy by other fly tiers. There's a little fly tying history for you here today. See how simple? I mean, any beginner can tie one of these. Oh, my thread's a little too long. Put that in there. There we go. And to me, my favorite tackle players are these electrician grabbers for wires. And I've got a mess of the others, and you know, everybody has, when it comes to doing this, everybody has their own preference. What they like, what they don't like. A lot of people for whip finishers use what back in the day was known as the Mattarelli, who he was another gentleman that had a fly shop in West Yellowstone with Pat Barnes and those guys. In fact, Bob Jacklin, who I don't even know is still around or not, but Bob Jacklin bought Pat Barnes' old shop. Dating myself here. I was around with those guys back then. There we go, there's Mohagany. And I do have to say, this fly is incredible. I mean, for as simple as it is, it's deadly. But you could do these with just straight peacock herl, ostrich, whatever you want. Use your imagination. There's no limit when it comes to tying flies. There really isn't. Everybody have a great day.